Welcome Dojima community. I'm super excited for today's podcast because it's all about gaming on blockchain. I mean, who doesn't love gaming? I can tell you all about YCT cheat codes, but when it comes to blockchain, I'm clueless. That's why we have the experts here today. Joining us are Saurabh, Vish, and Dibyo, the blockchain gaming gurus. Hello, guys.
Hey, Rohan.
Hi, Sajan.
Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with your work, but for our viewers, please introduce yourselves. What's your background? What brings you to blockchain gaming space?
So my name is Vish. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Link. And before Link, I've been designing and developing games. Have designed more than 80 plus games and decided to launch my own Web3 game in 2021. And that inspires me to build Link, because when I was designing my first Web3 game, it was very tough. And I realized that the game developers experience and the developers experience is completely broken in Web3. And with Link, we are solving that. So Link is a very first mobile centric layer 2 on top of Move stack with all the developer toolkit which we have built in the last 2 years. Currently we have empowered more than 400 plus projects, and we are hitting some really good amount of numbers, 500,000 transactions a day with the existing projects. So yeah.
So, hi everyone, I'm Saurabh. I'm co-founder CEO at Placeware AI. Previous to that, I was working at GVBs, and it was esports protocol for Web2 and Web3 games, particularly for college students. So it was all about, how we can bring esports to colleges in India. Now coming to Web3 gaming, have been active in this space for last 3 years. Seen the complete evolution of games where, 3 years back we had pretty basic games, and now good games are coming in. With this, we have been seeing in all the games, even we started with GTA. The angle of customization is a lot in that game. You can put in your characters, you can download mods, and you can do unlimited things over there. Tech-wise, it makes much more sense on Web3 as everything is permission-based. Creators can get paid equally, or according to their will. They will be the real owner, but there are not enough tools which help these gamers become creators. So we are building a UGC layer for all these Web3 games. Using with any gamer, he can put whatever he want in any Web3 game, and everything will be facilitated through AI. He does not need to write any code. He need not to design anything. If he needs, he can, but majority of design and tech part will be covered by it. So, yeah.
Hi everyone, this is Dibyo. I'm the co-founder and CEO at Turf Gaming. We are specifically bringing the competitive excellence in the Web3 and Web2 gaming ecosystem, where I have been seeing in this whole gaming industry, a lot of protocols have been designed to bring the user acquisition in place, making the user experience great, like Link guys are doing. And what is missing in this whole industry was literally in the whole industry, not just I'm talking about Web2 and Web3, but the segment where the competitive excellence is getting promoted and the game owners are engaging through competitions. That's where we have seen that in this whole ecosystem, the games are not esports ready, first of all, and only the top 5 to 10 games are ruling the party since the last 15 years. That's where we saw, I have been in this Web3 industry for nearly 7+ years now, and I have been seeing that this literal problem, like making any game esports ready and enabling anyone, even an individual, to give the ability to permissionally host a full-fledged event is possible by using a Web3 stack. That's where Turf comes in. Turf is an esports protocol, and it's enabling any game to be esports ready within few days. And with one click, any host can curate a competition on top of it, leveraging our distribution network and leveraging the infrastructure with end-to-end automation.
Awesome. It's clear that we have a powerhouse of expertise here today. I personally feel mass adoption of blockchain starts with gaming, since gaming has already introduced concepts like in-game currencies and virtual assets. But with your unique perspectives, I'm excited to know more about this blockchain gaming. So let's start with our first question. Saurabh, I'll start with you. How is this play to earn transforming gaming revenue landscape?
Right. So if we see particularly in the last bull market, play to earn was pretty big thing, and what it basically did was it brought a whole new kind of audience to the gaming, right? So earlier games were meant just to fun and to enjoy time, but with the advent of Web3 gaming, these protocols made people aware that you are spending your time over here and you can monetize it. So there came a lot of different models. Axie was the most famous one, and the core hypothesis was in third world countries like Philippines or even India to some extent, where 50% population has a larger $20-30 a month income. If this Web3 gaming is able to provide them $5-10-20 to a college kid, it's a good enough amount. So this whole thing came into the picture, and we saw literally during COVID time people doing job of playing this Axie Infinity, right? So now in terms of players, it was again good and bad. Web3 got users, but not exactly the core users. Those were who were doing something to earn. With the games, now when it was monetized, as in the gamification kicked in, you buy this kind of sneaker and you get this multiple of earnings. That was another big revenue source for these games. During that time, a lot of games capitalized on that. But going forward, what we have been seeing in particularly to Swift, it's not just play to earn, it's play and earn. That play segment is coming first. Whatever protocols we see today, even Link or esports, it's like you enjoy first, and then if you want, you are hitting certain milestone, obviously you are getting paid. And obviously this is also making the games more sustainable, new kind of revenue sources. So yeah, the whole play to earn scene is changing pretty rapidly.
Nice. Like you said, play and earn is transforming gaming industry in a good way. Like ability to earn real world value from gaming is a game changer.
Exactly.
Speaking of game changers, Vish, how do you think NFTs are impacting blockchain gaming and player ownership?
Yeah, so if you call NFTs, then it is more people think that NFTs are the only one which is responsible for the 3 gaming. But I believe is if you just replace NFTs with digital asset, with true digital asset ownership, then it is much better word, because we have seen the market sentiment is not good around NFTs, especially for the traditional one. And what I'm very much bullish about bringing that new users into Web3, not converting the existing Web3 users to play the Web3 games, because that will not gonna help us to go anywhere, right? So I believe it plays a very major role. Digital asset plays a very, very major role. I was just looking at Pokemon Go, or Pokemon the overall franchise, which is more than $120 billion. That's a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So and they are not even telling that you are owning a digital asset, whatever you are buying in the game, right? So my point is with Web3, we have a lot of things to explore. Right now, let's say if you are hitting $100 billion from one game, or by providing multiple franchisee, or by providing multiple ways. With Web3, we can actually diversify the whole economy. How? Because let's say if I'm buying the assets inside the game, I can actually sell the asset, I can trade the asset, I can rent the asset, I can do whatever I want, because I have some small ownership to that asset. Even Saurabh was also mentioning about the modifications, and a lot of people will actually create a mod version of the game as well. Now let's say if I have created the mod version of the game, and I have created multiple digital asset for that particular game. Now anytime anyone who is using that particular mod version, or playing that mod version of the game, or utilizing that mod digital asset, I'm getting a royalty cut. So right now that's one of the biggest things, because let's say if I'm creating a mod version of the game in Web2 world, I can get those games not from the official website. First of all, I get from a torrent, I get from XYZ website, but not from the like official website. Now, if I just like allow my community that okay, here's this is like the game. Roblox is like one of the greatest examples. Let's say like if I someone has like created Roblox for Web3 and they have like mentioned that okay, this is a game and you can actually like create the mod version. You can actually like allow anyone to like build whatever you want. That's like crazy because let's say if I'm playing Mario but with a Superman like Superman character or with someone else character, that's like very interesting because we interact with digital asset, but bringing digital asset on chain will diversify the whole economy the way we are looking at it right now. So I'm super bullish about this, and to be very honest, instead of just like calling it NFT, we just like call it digital asset because we have seen NFTs are like just very limited. To be very honest, NFT would be anything, but still NFT is like still very overrated word, which has which everyone has like already like saw in the like past couple of years, where we have hyped around the PFP, where we have hyped around exclusive network. I think like just like one example, if I am playing a Pokemon Go and if I am training my Pikachu, increasing his CP, then I would love to have a small ownership of that particular Pokemon because I am investing my time, effort, money. So I'm already like emotionally connected with him. But let's say if someone told me that Pokemon Go is like getting banned in India and they cannot even access anything, then I will be like losing that particular part, that particular piece of my life. So with digital asset, we can actually like save that particular part. Sorry, you are taking a little long.
What you said is making total sense. Like this opens up new possibilities for players to engage with games. So Dibyo, what about economic benefits? How do players economically benefit from engaging with blockchain games?
This is kind of a mixed response that I have when it comes to economic incentives around gaming. So let's see the backside. Let's say before Web3 games, generally how do gamers earn money? There were very much limited sources in terms of first of all they don't think about incentive making it as an income source, and they just play it for fun, right? And there has been a lot of games that are purely for fun. Let's say even the Facebook games when it came out, right? These are kind of the addiction portals, I would say, and we have played a lot. But when the Web3 games came in, then we have seen that people are more looking towards how I can incentivize or how I can get paid for my time. That's where the advent of play to earn came in, and a lot of gaming projects launched their token and made it in a way that hey, you play it. Like one of the biggest example is Step In, like it's a walk to earn or something. They took it as a game, right? People were doing activities and getting some money out of it and incentivizing their time. It has created a very big economy, but it's a one-sided economy that got created, right? A project coming in, they are giving out rewards, someone is receiving it, dumping in the market, that's it. This is not something that is gonna sustain. That's where a lot of economic sources came in, right? Let's say, one of the things are the digital assets that are out there in the market, right? Holding those digital assets also have some value in terms of if the project is able to create some economics speculation around that NFT, right? So these are like play to earn mechanism is one of the things. Next thing I would say is the holding the digital assets. A lot of games that we can see today are having yields and staking rewards also, where you can literally stake random USDT or USDC and get some rewards on top of it, and they are linked to literally compound or Aave. So these are few economic incentives that we can see that is going in the market. But when you see around the sustainable way of making money for the gaming industry, like for the gamers, right? It need to be a shared economy and there need to be people who are putting in real money, right? It's not just a newly minted money, but real money into the ecosystem where the same thing is getting distributed to the gamers, right? That's where I feel like the competitive gaming is one of the segments that have been there in the past as well, where sponsors put a lot of money into the games, and that is only getting that's are the incentive sources for the gamers, right? People are competing for the money. Esports hosts, like literally the people who are hosting the competitions, are making a lot of money in terms of hosting that competitions in a manual way or whatever it is. So it has created a circular economy on from where the money is getting flown and who is receiving it. And a lot of segments of it are getting capitalized in terms of, let's say, streaming through ads, right? There is a whole level of capitalism that happened through creators economy, right? The gamer who is playing is literally streaming the gameplay and earning a lot. Ads revenues are there and a lot of opportunities came in. But what I see is right now the whole gaming industry is kind of inclined towards, hey, I will be playing and I'll be farming some rewards, and that's the end of it. But going forward, I see much maturity in terms of it leads to a circular economy as a whole, and every player in the system, right? I'll say it's every actor in the system will have an incentive mechanism in place, and that's where I would say it can be getting more real, and everyone will be making money in a better way, not just printed money.
Yeah, that's really an interesting way to put it. But yeah, the economic opportunities in blockchain gaming are vast, like from earning cryptos to digital assets. Players have a lot to gain. But Dibyo, what's holding us back? What's holding blockchain gaming from going mainstream?
One of the things that I can see is, first of all, blockchain gaming, I'll tell it openly, that first hindrance is the experience. In terms of the experience, blockchain gaming is having a lot of hindrances, right? And we can see like a link is solving that literal problem. And the next thing is all the games are rushing, right? Because in this whole system, people are, for making a good game, you need first of all good money and you need time, right? To innovate, to iterate through your gamers and make sure it is a game that is getting hooked into their mind. But gaming development cycle is very much longer, and it takes time to build a good game, right? That's where a lot of games are rushing, following the crypto cycle, right, of let's say 3 years and all, and getting trapped into it and making sure like, hey, we can just release a token. That is one thing I would say that is holding back in terms of game developers, right? Not focusing on the innovation front and not focusing on gamifying it enough, so that literally people can really tell stories like Assassin's Creed and all the games, right? Splinter Cell, even I remember James Bond and a lot of new games too, right? These games are created by taking time, and the gameplay is literally awesome. If you cannot hook the gamers through your gameplay, I would not think that anything else can. I would say even if there is a problem in terms of experience, gamers can deal with it, right? They are the most tech savvy person in this industry, right? Why don't they can literally have wallets or whatever things are needed? But having the experience of that gameplay need to be your hero in this whole system. Otherwise, it's not the game done. So that's one of the things, like games are rushing towards, and having a token and actually messing up with the system is something that's still holding the gaming industry back. And if you see the best games, like they are literally taking time, and I see big guns like even Riot and all are also trying to get into this industry, right? When they come in, you will be seeing how exactly these things are getting revolutionized. So yeah, this is my take.
Makes sense. And I feel awareness and understanding are crucial for this adoption. educating these players and normal people will play a key role in driving mainstream acceptance. Saurabh, what emerging trends will shape the future of blockchain gaming?
So I'll continue from where you just left that, one of the key reasons has been there are not good games, to be honest. And the second is, even if the game is good, the onboarding is so difficult for a normal user
Exactly.
that he or she literally can't understand what is a wallet, what is a memory, what is gas, and things like that. And after some time, they just, throw that game away. No, I don't want to play. So the very first trend, which I think we are already seeing, and this will be the perfect person to explain more on this. You can play a Web3 game, and you can get all the benefits of the Web3 ecosystem, as in you will be the real owner. You will have all those digital assets under your control, but you'll get the UX of traditional game, right? You will be logging in to Google and you will not even know that you are minting an NFT. For example, it has been some time that Reddit has launched NFTs. They have digital wallets as well, right? But they call their NFTs digital asset, the avatars. They call their wallet vaults. So it's like change in terminology plus account abstraction. Now, to be precise, the experience becomes so good that players did not differentiate whether it is a Web 2 or Web 3. So, second, more and more, this bigger guns coming into the Web 3 space. Recently, we saw Ubisoft partnering with Arbitrium to launch some titles. So, going forward, we'll see that the line between Web 2 games and Web 3 games will become thinner and thinner. It will just exist as games, right? Today, we don't name a game by its genre. Like this is role playing or something. It is a game, means it is a game. We can always discuss the genres of each game. So I feel that in the coming years, we will be just saying games, and when we'll be pinpointing to a particular game, then we'll be discussing whether it's Web 2 or Web 3, things like that. It will also become a subgenre of game. The second is, the third would be, obviously, I feel that the whole creator angle, which blockchain gaming had promised, be it Sandbox or Decentraland, finally picking up pace. Big games like Sharpnel, they are launching their own tools to let players create inside their game. And with AI is transforming every industry, and Web3 gaming is not gonna be an exception. So the development cycle for the games will be shortened up, and players will finally have more autonomy on what to build over there. So they will be able to put a lot of things which were not possible. Quality getting increased, and overall, it's like Web3 game will just become game. So that is the major trend, which is to summarize in one sentence.
So future looks interesting and bright, but I think it takes time.
True, obviously. That's obviously true that we always, as entrepreneurs in the space, we have to see the most brightest out there, because the industry corrects itself. But
yeah, so we can even consider cross-chain interoperability. Sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly. The sky is the limit, because you see that whatever the best things of traditional gaming were there, they are already coming on chain. Like esports, one of the missing factors over here, right? Traditional esports, it's very operational heavy. There are always this payout problem from the participant side. You need to pinging the organizers that I had submitted my entry fees, where is my price and everything. So all those elements, bad elements, or inefficiencies are getting removed by Web3. So I'm very, very optimistic on the whole arena that gaming will just Web3 game and Web2 game will just converge and it will just remain as
Games. Nice. Okay, now Vish, why do you think community engagement is vital for success of blockchain games?
Well, community engagement is like important for every game. Example, like you are a big fan of Vice City, but let's say if you do not even like know about Vice City, why will you gonna like play that game, right? We have like built the community around that particular game, and we made that particular game huge, and that community like growing. And it didn't happen because of the game itself. It happened because of a good game, a game which breaks the barrier. Example, like I'm just like taking the example of GTA Vice City because you have like mentioned that the way you have like started the podcast. So in GTA, that was like the very first open world game. You can become a demon, you can become the god of your own world. Whether you can actually like play the game without cheat codes or whether you can actually play the game with cheat codes. It gave you that feeling to do whatever you want to do. Either you want to like do a missions, either you just want to like roam around, either you just want to like kill someone. So that narrative like came into the picture. People think that okay, this is like crazy because this game is a combination of all the games. I can do whatever I want. I can actually roam around. So I think like that created another community engagement. People like started like talking about on Reddit, especially like Reddit, like the biggest platform where people have like shared this clips of GTA and other games, and that's how like community like started like growing, and they started like sharing the narrative of GTA. So I believe that every game requires a community. Doesn't matter they have to like be on the Discord, or they have to like be on Twitter, or they have to like be on Telegram, or they have to like be on Reddit. A community like should be everywhere and it should be like growing. For example, I'm a huge fan of Second Life, and everyone is like talking about the experience. To be very honest, like to play Second Life, you have to like set up an environment. The way you are like setting up an environment for like React applications or like Node.js applications, the same kind of like environment you have to like set up. I was like using Firestorm to like play Second Life. I don't like a huge amount of effort just like play a game. I used to like play because I have like tons of friends over there who are like waiting for me every single day. So that created an emotional connect for me, and I'm like happy to like go through all those challenges, play, interact with them. I was like just like roaming around. It's supposed to like say that Second Life is like one of the like very first metaverse, and I totally agree with this because they do have linked token. They do have like a lot of other aspects which you can actually access, and they have a huge community at the same time. So I believe like Web3 game, yes, it requires it plays a major role. Not just like Web3 game, but any game requires the community support. Without the community support, you can't like do that. But the content around it, we are like feeling as for example, Saurabh mentioned they're like not good games available. They're not good games available because take the numbers of how many developers are actually developing games on chain, right? Because it's just like going like checking the survey of Stack Overflow. Out of like 100%, 25% of the developers thinks that Web3 could be a future. 75% they do not even like care, and they do not even like know about what's it. My point is like why this 25% thinks that Web3 could be future. But when it comes to like launching a blog post or like a blog website, why everyone like going for WordPress rather than like creating everything from scratch? So I think like what we are like forgetting is game developers are good at developing games, and game developer you can really combine game development with other technical stuff. Game development requires a lot of effort. It requires math, it requires physics, it requires creativity, it requires a lot of things. And then you are like putting a sprinkle of blockchain, making it more complex, right?
Yeah.
People are like struggling to publish their simple game in Web2. People think that, okay, Web3 game is like not struggling at the moment. Is a Web2 game doing well? No. We have like published more than 8+ games with like different publishers. But to reach at that level, we have to like create more than 80 to 100 games. We have to like crack the CPI. We have to like answer multiple challenges. We have to like keep up the like retention rate. And then publisher said that, okay, we will probably publish a game, but we will gonna like take the 50% of the cut of the total revenue. And that is like brutal. And some of the publisher like takes 80% of the total revenue, gives you 20%. Now that is why we need Web3. We need to like remove these dependencies, but we cannot like remove these dependencies unless like we provide a simple and scalable developer experience. If I want to integrate Firebase right now inside my website within 3 CLI calls, I can do that. It's easy. If I want to like integrate Photon in my game, I can do that easily. That kind of developer experience we have to bring, and that is what Link has been like hustling for the and building like in the like last 2 years. And the reason why we came up with our own layer 2 is to remove the dependencies on the existing layer 1 and layer 2 as well. Because I saw we are like work with 14+ chains, and everyone was like struggling that how they can onboard the developers the fastest possible. Everyone is every chain has like its own developer team helping the projects to like integrate. But can we like ask the same thing, or can we expect the same thing from Ethereum? No. So we want to like move forward. We have to like build the community not just with the gamers, but with also game developers as well, because that a huge community will gonna like bring us a lot of things, including good games, including good gamers, and that can actually like help us to move ahead.
Absolutely. Community engagement is really important for building loyal player base and driving adoption. But like you said, community-driven decision making will lead to innovation, and that shapes the future of blockchain gaming. Nice. Dibyo, I'll come back to you for one last question. Saurabh gave some really exciting future trends, but what regulatory hurdles must blockchain gaming overcome to achieve and reach to that level?
I'm not a legal expert, but I have few points that I can share here. So, first of all, what I can see in this whole industry is, let's see in the towards the big games, right? If you see, let's talk about Riot, let's talk about World, there are other publishers and game developers out there who have been building big games. What exactly is the issue for them to adopt Web3 primitives at the first run, or collaborate with any of the infrastructures who are providing Web3 primitives for them? The biggest hurdle is the regulation, right? When it comes to gaming, first of all, there is a huge segment of game licensing, right? How you categorize your game, and the biggest issue is it's not cross borders accepted, right? There is no single law around the game licensing. Wherever you are targeting the market, you have to take that particular game license to approach their user. Now, when it comes to Web3 gaming, this whole policy making gets more complex because it brings the blockchain related or crypto related rules, and it also brings the gambling related rules, making the whole system as complex as possible, right? These three fronts are one of the most complex regulatory structures because there is no clarity in the system. And if you're putting on these three things at a single project, how exactly they will be able to cope up with the things and focus around developing the gameplay, right? So all these three things like has actually created a burden in terms of the game developers or the studios or the IP holders who even wants to transition to the Web3 gaming segment, right? Now, like literally a lot of infrastructures, like let's say off-ramping is also one of the infrastructures that isolates a game from the crypto segments, right? In terms of dealing with every single country's regulation and all these things, right? And let's say an esports infrastructure like us, which is trying to build the whole thing in isolation by taking data from the game, is something is kind of keeping the things separate, right, from a game itself. So where I see is from the regulations point of view, the things are more complex just because it's not clear. Once more clarity is coming into the picture, it can scale like nothing. And as of we can see a lot of infrastructures who are trying to serve over these games for the Web3 transitions where they don't have to take care of all these regulations and stuff and specific things like, let's say, the wallet management and all these things is a separate company who knows about what they are doing and providing a service to a different game. Then it's sorted for the game developer and they are more reluctant towards, say, for me, doing this is easy because someone else is taking care of all the regulation stuff. When we are also coming into the picture, we are trying to do the things in isolation. So what I can see is this regulative complex structure is going to be there for a while, and it's impacting the games in a matter that big guns are not coming into the picture with a full-fledged scene, right? It's not something like they cannot handle it, but if they are not handling it right at the moment because there is a huge lack of clarity and it can disrupt their business, right? So moving forward, I can see that all these regulative structures can be abstracted away by multiple companies serving them specific elements. Let's say if we are providing prediction market, right, the gambling rules are literally covered by us and not the game, right? So these kind of abstraction can really omit the regulatory stuff and enable any game to go forward and adopt the Web3 primitives very much easily. And I feel this is one of the biggest problems. And apart from that, asset classification is what I have been speaking to a lawyer a few days back. And when it comes to NFTs, that a lot of games are involved into, and they have a very specific privacy policy designed for the NFTs to make it a separate kind of asset class and how exactly it is getting traded, right? So a lot of companies are not even doing that. Maybe they don't even know it, and maybe they don't fall into the category. It's a whole different thing. But for sure, there is a lack of clarity that is leading to the whole complexity in this whole system. But moving forward, I'm not sure like how exactly things going to change. But my optimist overview is here, like abstracting away the regulatory segments to different companies who can solve it well.
So to simply put it, there should be some regulatory clarity it will be crucial for growth, right? That's it. Some clarity should be
Exactly.
some standard.
Exactly.
Okay, well said.
And that's one of the crucial thing, not just in the Web3 gaming, like in the whole Web3 space itself.
Yeah.
Where if you see that RMG gaming industry, right? If you just talk about India is taking literally 20% of GST if a person is actually, if a company is actually taking funds for their prize pool, right? Straight away. Then again, there are rules where gamers, when they're earning from these kind of platforms, they have to pay 20% extra tax, right? What it is, like literally there is no value in terms of the prize pool that particular game is earning. So these kind of things will be there, and there need to be a clarity. There need to be a standards. And if it's a global standards, then it's the best thing that can happen. But it's not going to happen, to be honest, right?
Like now or ever.
I'm not sure, but if you see today, there is, let's say, in the RMG industry, there is a Dream 11 of India, there is a Dream 11 of Pakistan, there is a Dream 11 of Singapore. Why exactly? Right? They are not able to scale being this much big companies because of the country-based regulations are so tight that they cannot categorize in a way that they can globalize their whole system. Right? But that's also where blockchain also comes in. Where if you don't take the custody of the funds, you don't literally have the liability. And that actually gives you the scope of globalization, where smart contracts are handling the funds, and you as a company is not liable of that particular fund, as a government entities should be concerned of. So that's where a lot of these are specifically loopholes, right? Uh, where we are trying to omit the system in a way that, hey, I'm not having the custody or what's in it with the GST and all these things. These things can be done. These things are happening, and yeah, I feel global standards are something that can literally change the whole landscape. And to be honest, if I talk about the competitive gaming industry, global standards are coming in because Olympics will be having a global standard. And if I take an India specific example, how IITs have created a mass market of coaching, right? It's gonna this Olympics and World Cup, Esports World Cup is gonna create a mass market of training and coaching for the esports industry as well, right? So there will be global standards. Let's see. That's the most optimistic view I can have. Let's see how the thing goes.
Yeah, right now, for time being, we can be optimistic. That's it. So, Saurabh, how has this play to earn model, or like you call it, play earned earn model, influenced player motivation and behavior?
Oh, yeah, right. Play to earn was basically a business model, is a business model. And the whole hypothesis around this was if gamers are paid $100 in total, they will be spending good portion of that back to the game, and this will result in a circular economy. And the game, all the parties involved in it will gain from this. Now it is so before understanding play to earn, how it is setting the motivation of the gamers. Let's take a step back and 15 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, we used to get this CDs of the games.
Yeah.
So you pay to the shop and give you a CD, and you put it, you enjoy the game. And after that, you don't need to pay anything. When internet came, what they basically did is they made the game free, but the premium version will cost you something. The costumes and things like that. So CD wala was a business model. Premium version was a business model. Then came the whole wave of games after Candy Crush, where everything is free. You just need to watch ads. So free to play model gaming. So all tech brings a new business model with them. Blockchain is very new, very novel, and we will see different kind of business models being evolved with blockchain, because blockchain gives something which traditional tech cannot provide. We were talking right now about globalization and how companies are not able to scale. I'll put one point that the regulatory system in India is so complex, and then during Yemen, Pakistan, even in India, there are different laws for different states. So if you are a resident of Telangana, legally you cannot use Dreamland. But if you are a resident of Karnataka, you can do. Now, from a company's perspective, it is so hard to geolocate each member and then run the operations. And even on top of that, if there is a price pool of 100, it's not the anyone's profit. It's not gamers' profit. It's not company's profit. Government will come and then take 28 rupee out of the price pool. So overall decreasing the morale of the player because the price became less. So now when blockchain came, obviously the business model came was play to earn. That you spend X amount of hours and you will be getting this many tokens. Now what it did basically was it changed the fundamental thinking of a gamer. Earlier, while we used to play games, number one, we had free time. We wanted to experience those dopamine hits. Our friends were playing, so we would play with friends, either in the game or together. So fun was the key element over there, and I still believe that fun is the biggest element. If game wants to be sustainable, fun needs to be there. This whole play to earn model, in a way, converted gamers to workers instead of getting fun. So always a gamer has multiple choices. The game where the game with best community, best support, best experience, gamer chooses that. But this Play to Earn, what they did, they portrayed games as money-making machines. So it's like you are putting this amount of work, then getting this amount of token. So the mentality changed from being a gamer to an, and then in the whole economics. Now this was not the token that you can just earn from the game. Someone can come in and they can buy certain amount of tokens. So again, the whole circular economy broke down. And what happened was when a game launched, they used to give, let's say, $1 per game. Players kept coming in, so did the price kept going up. Now another game launched on another chain, and what they did was to attract the community, attract this same gamers. They started offering $1.5 instead of $1 the previous week. Now the players from game A talk to B. Now since players are leaving this particular game, the token price started coming down. Since the token prices started coming down, more players left this particular game A. So it became a vicious cycle of death for this game, and ultimately harmed a lot of Web3 games, which died, I would say, just because of bad tokenomics. So now going forward, new novel mechanisms have been coming that you need to do more elaborate quests. Even at PlayStation, we are working hard to provide a value-driven monetization opportunity, as in whatever mods you will be creating, you just put in whoever wants to pay, you can just token get it or NFT get it. Whatever assets which you are creating, you can sell it into the secondary. Now, if you are spending 20 hours on an asset, obviously that is going to have a higher price point than an asset which someone spent 2 hours. So more of a value-driven monetization opportunity for the gamer. So this mentality, such a gamer becoming an investor, has hurt the gaming industry, but things are back on track now.
Amazing. So finally, gamers can say, I'm not wasting time playing games, I'm earning a living, sort of.
Yeah, so the idea was that, I remember we was talking about what would happen if Pokemon got banned and you spend a lot of time and effort into it. And it has happened quite so many times. Farmville, a game with hundreds of millions of downloads, it was discontinued. Whatever assets you had and the kind of, time, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Even in recent times, PUBG, right? I remember these streamers buying skins for lakhs of rupees.
Gone. All gone.
Suddenly, one day government said no more PUBG. So that is gone. So ideally, that should not happen. So Web3 encourages that, right? Again, example of Roblox. If you are creating an asset on Roblox and you are selling it onto the marketplace, you get 30%, Roblox gets 70%.
Oh.
So you did all the work, but at the end of the day, it's the platform which is making money out of your work. You are not making anything, like even not 50%, 30%. So Web3 is made to change all of these things, that you'll be getting fairly compensated, not overly compensated, which economics will not allow. So till the time we keep things in balance, obviously it is linked to.
True. Like this Play to Earn has created a new level of player investment in games, for sure. So Vish, I have one last question and we can conclude this podcast. What unique advantages does blockchain gaming offer over traditional gaming models?
I think we have covered this part, but to be very precise, it unlocks the diverse economy. That is one of the case. Second thing, there is a huge AI agents are one of the major aspects where you can actually launch in AI agents, and I'm not talking about the one who is coming and just killing you. Because now AI is more advanced, and we can actually work more around the AI agents, which can actually create a better impact in the overall experience. Because anyway, from playing a game, I do not want to play alone. I need I need my friends and family to play with me. But from day one, That is like not possible for any game. AI agents like one of the ways to like get the retention rate for a game which can actually drive a huge community. That's it. Second thing is bots are like one of the major issue in the space. We can actually like bring more we can bring a transparency there with on-chain transactions, especially on the transaction side. Let's say like if I'm buying any assets, I'm selling any assets, if there's like on-chain record of that, that is like very much important, which also like brings a true digital asset ownership.
Nice. And I think there should be some screen time limitation as well, else nobody will leave the screen because of this.
No, you know, like I think like screen time, I think if the experience is great, gamers will probably be there. The moment you like tell any gamer, right, anyone in the world that just like go for 1 second and come back, this is not part of it though. That is the hard, harsh truth of game.
True.
You want gamers to be in the same ecosystem. Not like that, okay, you are playing over here, doing transactions somewhere else, and talking to somewhere else. No, everything should be in the same place. And it is not, and like people are like talking about like good games. We need the very first Flappy Bird in Web3. That is it. That one Flappy Bird disrupted Web2 gaming ecosystem, started a new era, and we need to like start a new era. And for that, we need an engaging game. A quality game doesn't needs to be a high graphics, doesn't needs to be a something like the future of Fortnite or Roblox. It should be the combination of multiple mini games which I am aware about, which my dad is aware about, which my mom is aware about, and everyone can actually play and everyone can be a part of the new era of the game. So I think like if you can actually keep the things very simple, provide the best experience, and bring the stickiness into the gaming ecosystem, then we do not have to like do anything else. If we try to like complicate the things more, if you like telling about the earning factor, you don't have to like tell the earning factor. If I'm like playing a game, I'm just like playing the game, just like play it. If I want to put my money, I will anyway like I want to like, put my money into it. Do not. So my thesis is around like if we can actually like convert new players into Web3, that is great. If I'm constantly trying to bring those players who have played Axie Infinity long time ago, and they have been keep finding such projects, so we will gonna like keep seeing the replications of Axie Infinity. We will not gonna like find other projects. We need more new users. We are like 8 billion users in the world. Why we are like just going for a right?
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, that's all the questions I have today. Anybody has anything to say? Final words? Or Junaid has some questions to ask. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any questions to ask, but I would really like to thank everybody for participating. It was fantastic. I've been quietly, silently listening. I've got some work going on over here, so I couldn't participate as much as I wanted. But some very interesting questions and some very, very nice answers. And which I agree with you, the next game should be, a Web3 game, which let's look at Candy Crush, for example. I would love it if the industry had a Candy Crush which my mom could play, who's like 72, and, be able to earn some tokens in there. And it has to be so simple that she should be able to redeem them as well as and when she wants to do whatever she wants with it. It should become idiot-proof, it should become senior-proof, it should become child-proof, something which can be adapted by every single person. And it's simple, it's engaging, and it's fun. That's all. That's all that's required in our industry. And we are sorted. Fantastic one. Dibyo, thank you so much for your insights. And Saurabh, the practical approach on things is just awesome. Thank you so much once again, guys.
Well, Junaid, I can actually say one thing. That is coming. to the mob can actually play Candy Crush.
Okay, we covered a lot of ground today from play to earn to NFTs. Thank to Saurabh, Vish, and Dibyo for sharing their expertise and insights. You guys are the real MVPs, most valuable podcasters. And that's a wrap. I hope you learned something new today, or at very least had good time nerding out with us about blockchain gaming. Now go and level up your knowledge and maybe even your blockchain wallet. And to our speakers, thanks again for being an awesome trio. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.